Hi, Brandon Raynor Naturopath here. Just doing a bit of a walk around my garden, and some people have commented that I haven't put any videos out lately because I have been gardening and just having a bit of a time at home. But I wanted to talk to you guys just about something that's been on my mind a bit lately too, is flower essences. And I know you guys think of me as a massage therapist sometimes, but actually I am a naturopath. And flower essences are one of the healing modalities that I like to use. And I just these flowers here have just come out in bloom. I don't know if you can see them, but they're pretty cool. It's just, flower essences are quite an amazing healing modality. Okay, so because I studied them 30 years ago when I first started becoming a naturopath, and I was very skeptical. I was like, oh yeah, what are these things, But after 30 years of using them, I still find I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the founder, Dr. Bach, whose place I visited in England, in Oxford. And I'm just blown away by how they help people a lot. So you have to understand flower essences, you can look at Dr. Bach, B-A-C-H. He's the founder of the Bach flower remedies. He died in 1936, I believe. He was an incredible man for his time. He was a virologist and studying bacteria and that sort of thing, and also homeopathy. But he believed that disease comes from the mind, and he believed that God must have given people a simple and easy way to treat that disease. And he reflected upon the doctrine of signatures, which is an old herbal formula that says that different parts of a plant relate to different parts of the body. So for example, the roots relate to our groundedness or our lower energy fields, whereas the leaves relate to our lungs, and flowers relate to the mind. So he basically then prepared his flower essences and experimented with 38 different British trees and that sort of thing, flowers, shrubs, and he came up with his Bach flower remedies. Many people would have heard of rescue remedy, that sort of thing. That's five of his flower essences. I now work with Californian flower essences, West Australian living essences, flower essences, and the Bach ones, and Ian White's Australian bush flower essences. And I find them to be absolutely incredible. I find them to be really, really beneficial when we look at what is the purpose of our health, or how do we even define health. So we can look at health from a perspective of understanding who we are, first of all. And I've covered this in other videos about how we're not the physical body, how we eat food and the physical body constantly changes every 7 years. We've got a new body. But we, the individual, keep going. I still remember, being a baby, yet my body's completely different. My brain, everything, all the cells have completely changed. So it shows that we are actually like a life force. So when we look at it like that, we can look at the flower essences as being the life force of the flower as well, because they're the reproductive component of a flower. So what he would do, Dr. Bach, would take flowers, put them in water, spring water, and then infuse them in sunlight for a day, and then he'd preserve that water in brandy. And then you would take a certain dosage of it, and you're getting the essence of that flower. So I look at it like different people have different imbalances. So some people might be lacking in confidence. Some people have different energies that they're dealing with, anxiety or depression or many different things. And if we can rebalance those psycho-spiritual, emotional, mental qualities, then our physical health is going to improve as well. Not that necessarily physical health is the goal of life, because eventually we all have to die. But we want to also have as much physical health as we can, of course, while we're on the planet. But even more important is having that meaning of life, having that feeling of wholeness in, you could call your soul or your spirit, your real self, the one that keeps going through your life, you know, from in the womb to being a baby, to being a child, to being a young adult, to being a adult of my age of 51, getting on there, but not too old, to being an adult of, you know, my father's age, 80 or a bit older even. Okay, so we want that feeling of connection, that feeling of, you know, what they call in Ayurveda our dharma, our purpose in life, feeling connected with our soul journey. And if we look at health as soul journey, then that's where we can understand flower essences better. So basically, flower essences are trying to get us back to our true path, our true nature. I actually consider that Raynor massage is also doing the same thing. It's actually finding anything that's not beneficial to the person, that'll manifest as physical tension, but it's also on an emotional level, on a subtle level, and getting rid of it. But flower essences also help with that, and they can be used in conjunction with massage very well, or massage, depending upon which continent you're on. So flower essences, some flowers have very different types of personalities. Here I'm walking through the garden here, and I'll show you there's another type. This is a native Australian flower, a type of grevillea. And it has its own particular quality to it. Okay, so when we make a flower essence out of that, we're getting the essence of that particular plant, and that may be beneficial to us. It can be affecting by the color of the flower. It can be affected by the size, the nature. It's like a sunflower is going to have a very outgoing nature, all right, whereas these are having their own particular personality. Just walking by my mango tree, by the way, so here's some mangoes starting to grow. Just as a sideline here, I love mangoes, so you can see them there. I'm pretty excited, and I've had to bird cage my lychee tree because the birds like it. And but if I lift this up, you can see some of the lychees all growing nicely there. But getting back onto the topic of flowers, again, we can see here's a golden glory grevillea flower, and that's got a particular energy to it too. So flowers will rebalance where we're lacking. I like to use kinesiology or muscle testing to diagnose, so that we're going back into the primal nature of the chi. And I've done videos on that, and you're welcome to have a look at them, where we diagnose flowers using kinesiology. And I've done videos on making our own flower essences, so I can link to them, or you can search for them. But anyway, I find it incredible just to rebalance the psyche in conjunction with the spirit. So obviously our spirit, the way I define it is we are the spirit in this, in the body. And then we have a subtle body around us, which is our mind and our emotions and that sort of thing. And then we have a gross physical body that, changes and ages and that sort of thing. And so bringing us back into balance. And back into balance with us, but back into balance with nature around us too. And that's one thing that I think is very, very important. And of course, I am a naturopath, and so I believe in the harmony of nature and humanity, and that we have a lot of health benefits from being around, obviously, birds, which there's plenty of birds now here on our property because of all these grevilleas. You can see this guy's coming up. We got like 50 different species of birds, especially since planting a lot of these different flower trees. But they just help bring us back into balance. The community of nature, I don't like to think of a community as just being people. Community of nature involves plants and animals as well. And this is what I advocate that we all do something like this, where we buy up properties that have been cleared previously and we replant them. Because you can see even here, this little bird here, he's flying around, but he's going onto my other mango tree, which you can see has got a lot of mangoes growing on it, which I'm very proud of and happy of. And I'm going to have to fence it so they don't eat it. we change, you know. I'll let them eat some things, but not all of our food. So yeah, flower essences are an amazing thing. We have a course in flower essences, so you're very welcome. I'll put a link to that on the description. I personally think they're incredible. Yeah, just unbelievable, really. And we got some great books you can, you know, study from. It's a fantastic field to get into for yourself, your family, and for other people. And it's just, yeah, I just can't stress enough how important I think it is. So yeah, anyway, that's my little rave on flower essences and a little bit of a tour around our garden. You know, just to let you know what I'm doing. We're finally getting some rain, which has been great because our garden has been so dry. And it's actually starting to rain now. And we're supposed to get quite a lot over the next few days, which is pretty good. So it was getting a bit depressing here when everything was completely dry. But yeah, it's exciting getting some rain. Everything's coming to life. You know, as you can see, I love gardening. It's not just gardening, it's nature. It's, you know, being part and connected with our food supply, knowing where our food comes from, getting the quality, you know, in our food. And also just the environment, you know, the noises that we take in, it affects us all. You know, rather than hearing a bunch of trucks and cars and police sirens and that sort of thing, here I hear birds, you know. And I see flowers. Here's another little flower I thought I might show you. This is another type of grevillea called a marmalade grevillea. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So again, they all have different personalities, you know. So yeah, I'll cover more about it because I'm just, you know, like I say, with the pandemic and everything, I'm just having a little break. Haven't been teaching as much the massage side of things, but I am teaching again in a couple of weeks, actually having a course up here near Gympie where we are at Pie Creek Hall. If you want to come, let me know. Do our online course in massage first. But, you know, for all you other guys who, you know, living away or somewhere in another continent or something like that, you know, where most people are, you know, have a think about what I'm talking about with flower essences. I think it's amazing. I think they're amazing. And I think you would, if you're, you know, like me, then you would not go back on them. Yeah. So once again, nice to see you all. Thanks for subscribing to my channel and everything like that. And I look forward to doing more videos.